I sat on that bench on a cold November afternoon at a crossroads, wondering what my next steps in life should be. I had come to this place, a spiritual mountain retreat, looking for answers. And as I looked out across the valley on that cold afternoon, I saw two paths appear before me. One off to my left, and it was as if the last rays of the setting sun were shining on that path. It was narrow, and it led to the base of a beautiful mountain far off in the distance. Then I looked to my right, and on my right was a shadowlands, a wilderness, wild and untamed, a path that was unknown, and I couldn't see where it led, far off in the distance between a valley of two craggy mountains. And as I sat there and I wondered which path I should take, I heard an invitation. And the invitation was this: not that path, Sarah, this one. Those two paths became a symbol for me for the next couple of months, telling me which path I should take, which invitation I would say yes to. I wish I could tell you that I hopped right up off that metaphorical bench on that afternoon and said yes to this invitation, but I sat there for quite a while, wondering and pondering why the invitation was to the wilderness. And here's what I realized as I sat there. You can't get to where you want to go by staying stuck in life and staying on that bench. And you can't become the person who God needs you to be by taking the path that you've always taken. That's easy and illuminated, and that everyone says you should take. And so in a moment of small bravery, when the calling was louder than my fear, I said yes to the invitation to step into the wilderness. I said yes to God's invitation. And I was afraid, and I was alone. And isn't that what we do when we're in the wilderness going on a path to someplace new? We look down and we focus only on what's right in front of us. But when we're brave enough to look up and look around, we see we're actually not alone on this path. And when I was able to do that and look up and look around, I met someone there on that path that I was surprised to meet. I had known him my whole life, but I met him here in a new way. God did not invite me into the wilderness to leave me alone and to say, hey, you figure it out on your own. He met me there with such love and compassion that I would never have experienced if I had stayed back there on that bench, or even if I had chosen that easy path. He met me there, and he had a gift for me, a message, and a strengthening of my voice to share that message with others. What I also realized on that path was that there were other people there with me, friends and family and people from the Bible who had gone before me, witnesses to tell me, you are stronger than you think, and you can do this. You can do this. And not only can you do this, but we're going to walk with you as you do. They came back to the wilderness for me, to walk with me when I was tired, to sit with me when I wanted to give up, to carry me when I said, I just really want to quit. Because here's the truth about that. They showed me goodness in the wilderness. Goodness and hardship are not mutually exclusive. All too often, they go together, and we experience the most goodness and the most compassion from people when we are in that space of hardness. And I'm so glad I didn't give up, and that those people cheered me on, and that God walked with me, because around the next corner, I met someone that I was not expecting. Me. A stronger, braver, more passionate person. Me. Someone who now had a message that God had given me. I hadn't claimed it. I hadn't manifested it. I hadn't created it on my own. It was given to me as a gift, and I never could have received it if I stayed back on that bench or if I had taken the easier path. It was only available to me here in the wilderness. So now I am 3 years out from having first sat on that bench. And I am so glad that I said yes to that wilderness journey, because I now have a message for you. For those of you who are sitting on that bench wondering, are you strong enough to get up and say yes? Are you equipped for this journey? The answer is yes. And if you are too scared to stand up and walk through that wilderness on your own, I am here with you because I am not afraid. And my question for you is, are you ready to stand up and say yes?